And wait, 1 and 2. All right. Thanks, Facebook, for cooperating. Hello and welcome back to Guidance and Recovery, your sobriety journey podcast with your host, Keegan. I am a liver failure survivor and delirium tremens survivor. Welcome to recovery. It's freaking weird. Anyways, I hope your sad Friday is doing well, and I hope that your week has been spectacularly pleasant. Now, that's kind of the thing, right? Life is like the wheel of fortune. It's like a wheel on a car, the tire, if you will. Sometimes it's in the mud, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. And, well, we can't really have it all one way or the other unless we choose to. And even then, it's not really the case, right? Like, it's sometimes the rose-colored glasses we put on. But I digress. Anyways, what I'm talking about today is, honestly, it's a venting session of sorts because I'm tired of people sitting there and honestly crapping on other people's addiction and trauma journey and the recovery aspect of it. Why? Because, well, let's just face it, people are assholes. Now, if you don't believe me, just go to Facebook, go to Twitter, or X, or Reddit, anywhere that humans really like to congregate and share their ideas whenever they won't get punched in the face immediately. And you'll see some of the worst aspects of humanity come on out. Anyways, with that being said, there are some amazing groups out there. They are looking to help other people. They're looking to make other people connected, to find resource, to be able to get ideas together, to collaborate, to make recovery strong, to be able to say, oh, I didn't think about that. Maybe that'll help me. But some people like to just go, oh, that wasn't my experience. That doesn't make sense to me, so I'm not going to do it. You're dumb. And it's like, fuck. Okay, well, sorry for your existing again. Like, that is some of the things that I've had to deal with myself, you know? And that's the thing, like, if we aren't safe, if we don't feel safe to be able to express ourselves, our pains, our hurts, and how we're doing, then we're just going to bottle it all up, tell ourselves the same story that got us fucked up in the first place, sorry, and just ultimately lead us into a path of self-destruction and or worse. And that's kind of the thing. Just because someone's experience doesn't line up with our own, or if someone else's doesn't line up with somebody else's, it doesn't mean that it is invalid. Now, there are definitely times where it's like, oh, you're off the deep end. Maybe you need some extra help. But there's also the whole aspect of if we can't talk, if we can't say what bothers us without getting slapped in the face for just having an opinion or a feeling, then we are in a bad spot. And honestly, the people that act that way are the ones that probably need to, well, one, do their step work the most, and or they're probably the same hypocrites that will sit there and tell you that you need to accept Jesus and do this and do that. And at the same time, they don't accept others like we should. I digress. The whole point of that is to say that everyone's journey and addiction and traumas and ultimately recovery looks different. Everyone's looks different. There are bits and pieces that are either unique, but there's also a lot of shared pain. There's a lot of things in there that do correlate to different things. And ultimately, everyone can sit there and should be able to empathize with, or at the very least, sympathize. But let's be honest, sympathy lacks a lot whenever we want compassion or whatever. Like, sympathy is great, but honestly, no, I take that back. Sympathy is just bleh. Like, it's cool whenever people can sympathize, I guess, but to me, that's like the insincere, inauthentic empathy. And some people are like, empathy is a weakness. Well, fuck your idea on that. Is all I have to say. And I can sit here and yes, I can be hypocritical because guess what? I'm fucking human and It's just how we are. Humans are flawed to a degree, but the thing is, how much are we willing to sit there and re-examine ourselves, self-evaluate, and move forward from there? If we sit there and tell other people that your journey is wrong, you did wrong, and you're doing it wrong, so you're not going to recover, you're not going to have a good life, blah, 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 blah. You're part of the problem if you're doing that. Just saying. Now, I'm not saying you are the problem. I'm just saying that that kind of behavior, that generational pattern, is the problem, is the cycle of destruction that just, I can't say we need to get rid of it, because if we got rid of it entirely, I don't think a lot of stuff would be around. Because guess what? A lot of good stuff comes out of the shit. And it's a really shitty thing, but sometimes we do need bad to make good happen. And sometimes good things make bad things happen. It's weird, right? It's life. It's paradoxical. Everything in life is a paradox. And the quicker we can learn and accept that, the better off we'll be. But we can't sit here and be so rigid and stuck in our ways to say that this works for me, so it shall work for everyone. Because it doesn't. It may work for a few. It may work for no one. It may work only for you. And that's totally cool. But the thing is, we have to look at ourselves. We have to let other people know your story, your pain is valid. I see you, I hear you, and I understand you to the best of my abilities. And that's the thing. Sometimes all I wanted in life early on was to be heard, to be understood, to be able to share and express my feelings and thoughts without ridicule, without actually getting shit on, and just to not be made fun of for having thoughts or feelings. And I didn't have that. I didn't have a safe space. I didn't have someone I could talk to about these things and be validated without being told, well, you just need to suck it up because that's how the world is. Like, gee, thanks. Appreciate. Yeah, right. So, I mean, I don't know what else I can really say besides I can also work on that. And again, I'm not saying that everything that I've learned is going to work for everyone. I know that it won't. I know that some people will take and learn different things with the lessons that I either talk about or my guests talk about. Some people will make the best of it. Some people will look at it and hear it and be like, what the hell are they smoking? Like, that's stupid. And you know what? That's fine. But don't go telling other people that, hey, your journey in recovery, yeah, you're doing it super bad wrong. Because guess what, man? So many people have to fall on their ass just to learn how to stand up proper. It's kind of like skateboarding. A lot of people are good at it right off the bat. Really cool. Awesome. But they still fall here and there. But the point is, just to be able to get on the board and stay on it, that's the goal. And recovery is a lot like that. Some people have a good time at being on the board the first time, and they are pretty solid. Other people slip here and there. Other people have to fall and eat a curb 10 times before they go, maybe I shouldn't do that again because last time. But that's the thing. We all learn different. We all experience life different. I think that like life is art, because they say if you get 10 artists and you have them all paint the same scene, you're not going to have the same picture or what have you. And you may even get 12 different results. And that's like life. We can all have our own interpretation on it. Our experiences give us the discernment that we use to paint the picture of how we view and experience life. And that's just the thing, is that it's going to look different. And a lot of people think that different is scary and it's wrong, but it's not. Now, don't get me wrong, change is scary. It's hard. Change is inevitable too. And a lot of us, whenever we are presented with new information, a new perspective, a way of thinking or living that we hadn't really fully comprehended or even conceptualized, we might get scared. We might even get triggered. We might find ourselves sitting there wanting to defend that little part of us that's actually experiencing whatever side of that story is being portrayed. And that's okay. The thing is, we have to learn to not let that out to the point to where it is detrimental. What we can do instead is ask questions, get curious, learn, and be like, either ask the person portraying their experience, like, well, what made you say this? Blah, 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 blah. And then we can self-reflect and go, why did that make me feel this way? What was it that blah, 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 blah. Now, if you're sitting here listening, well, first of all, thanks for listening. And if you're also listening and going like, this is stupid shit, well, then why do you think it's stupid? If you think it's because I'm dumb, okay, you're welcome to that opinion. You're entitled to it. But by all means, go ahead and leave a comment. I appreciate the comments. They let me know what I did wrong. Which, by the way, I forgot to mention. Next Friday, Beltane. Pretty cool, huh? Well, actually, what's really cool, Beltane is cool. What's also happening on that time, which I didn't really plan, but I kind of did in the long run, I guess. I don't know. Either way, the podcast is going through the rebrand coming up Friday. So Monday, we're going to have our last Retrieving Sanity episode. And then after that, it's all guidance and recovery. So stick around and join us. But guess what? We're not going to have background music anymore. Woo! Fanfare! Brrr! Because someone finally left me a Spotify comment and said, this background music is distracting. And I was like, oh man, like I had that issue whenever I first started doing the music and the podcast. But I also had no idea what I was doing whenever it came to sound mixing and stuff. And so I was like, if I had the music like way down, it'll be okay. Now, there are definitely spots where I think that music could be good to kind of elaborate or bring out the emotion fully in certain stories, but it doesn't have to be throughout the whole track. I just kind of wasn't lazy either because, oh man, I was taking extra time and having to edit that. But the thing is, someone let me know what they would like to hear different. And so, guess what? I'm making content for other people to consume. So if you let me know what you do or don't want to hear, guess what? I'm going to adapt. And that's how we also work life in recovery. We adapt, we learn, we go through the motions so that we can do different. Because if we did the same thing we did before, we're going to wind up back where we were. And that's not where I want to be. So if you don't want to be caught in your destructive cycle, trap, whatever it was, maybe just try something a little bit different. I'm not saying you have to sit there and start wiping your ass different. Maybe you should. I don't know. I'm not there doing it for you. I'm not going to. But what I am trying to say is that we don't have to change everything to change everything. We just have to change one thing different. How we do things. If you make coffee in the morning, maybe instead of filling up the pot with the right hand, do it with the left hand. If you use a Keurig, that's bad. Unless you're using one of those refillable cups. That's good for the environment. Those little plastic cups are really, really bad. Anyways, what I'm saying is that whenever we do things a little bit different, we're able to actually change the way that our brains work. And again, whenever we're presented with different stories, our brains are automatically going into defense mode a lot of the time because we're trying to find the similarities. We're trying to find, where does my story fit in with what they're saying? It doesn't fit in. That means I'm not accepted. Oh no! And that's where a lot of people get triggered. And okay, put it on your 4th step, put it on your 10th step, whatever you feel like. Go talk to your sponsor about it if that's the program you work, and we'll reconvene. Now, with that being said, I also do want people to know step work is not mandatory. It is really good. It is a framework. If you don't know where to go, if you don't know what to do, it's a start at least. And that's all we can really ask for whenever we're looking for a change out of whatever it was that's holding us down. Now, I don't know exactly what the future has in store for any of us. If I did, then I wouldn't be doing this because I'd be making a lot more money saying what would happen in the stock market. But I don't. I won't. But what I can say is that we can do better for ourselves. And by doing better for ourselves, we can do better for those around us. And trust me, if you're like me, then I want to do really good for those around me, but I have to take care of myself first. And that's a weird combination because it's like taking care of myself feels selfish, right? It is selfish. Kind of. Sort of. It's a paradox. Again, back to paradoxes. If I don't take care of myself, I can't take care of others. And if I take care of others, it comes back to me somehow. And usually in the energetic way where it's like, cool, I helped someone out today. Now I feel a little bit better. Woo! And sometimes, you know what? I don't always get that. But I can at least say I don't have this overwhelming guilt and shame from not helping them. And that, to me, is enough. Because, man, oh man, trying to beat the people pleaser out of me, it didn't work. So I just have to learn to adapt and survive different ways. And then I'll be able to thrive in ways that I never would have been able to imagine in the first place. So we are at the 15-minute mark. I said that Fridays were going to be a little bit shorter episodes, and here we go. So if you've enjoyed this episode, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you want to hear or don't want to hear in future episodes of Guidance and Recovery as we move forward, because background music, it's gone, but there will still be a little bit of intro, outro music, but not background music throughout the whole thing, because apparently it's distracting and you want to hear my voice because it's good. No, I'm just kidding. You want to hear the guests because they have the insight and I'm just a person asking the questions. So with that being said, thanks for stopping by. Technically Guidance in Recovery, but also / Retrieving Sanity. I need to figure this out a little bit better. Anyways, I digress. I just hope you have a great rest of your Friday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And don't forget that if you're having troubles, you can call 988 if you're having a mental health crisis of any sort. You can text 741-741 if you don't want to call. And if you're in the LGBTQ plus community, you can dial the Trevor Project up in Canada, and we'll be able to see you in the next episode because you made it through the day. And sometimes that's all we can do. Breathing is enough sometimes. Sometimes we don't even want to get out of bed, and that's all right too. Just try to fight for the next day, for the next sunrise or sunset if you work the night shift. So with that being said, we'll see you next time. Much love. Shalom.